Google has finally revealed their upcoming Fold phone. Hi, welcome to ZGadgetReview. Google will be announcing their upcoming devices on August 13th. I will be doing a live stream of the event, so if you want to come and watch with me, make sure you subscribe or put it in your calendar so you don't miss out. Now, because the event is just a few weeks away, Google has decided to unveil or do a soft launch of their upcoming devices. And now we have confirmation that there's going to be a new foldable phone. This is going to be called the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. And this is, of course, the next Fold device. And it seems that this phone is going to be announced at the same time that the other Pixel devices are announced. Now let's talk about the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Here we can see the first thing that catches your attention is the camera housing. The camera housing is very different. On the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, we're going away from that pill-shaped back of the camera housing to kind of like a square kind of thing. And then we're getting two separate pill-shaped cameras, one on top of the other. Now, the design is what it is. It is interesting, though, that they're going away from the design language of the other devices in order to maybe make it, different. That foldable thing isn't different enough. And so now they're adding that kind of like squarish camera housing that we have in the back. The other thing that we can see about that camera housing is that around the corners. So there's those differences there. Now here we have a render of what the interior screen is going to look like, or the screen once it's unfolded is going to look like. And as you can see here, we don't have a selfie camera. Usually, for example, on a Samsung Fold, you have the selfie camera on the right-hand side of the screen on the very top. It looks like in the selfie camera to the front of the phone. There we have it. So we're going to have the selfie camera pretty much when the phone is closed. You're going to be able to use that front-facing camera, selfie camera on the front of the phone. The other thing that we can see here is the bezels. The bezels seem that are going to be pretty thick around the front-facing screen. Now, if we see here on the upper left-hand corner, you can see there is a pretty chunky bezel there. And that is mostly because that is obviously where the phone is going to meet the hinge when the phone unfolds. So we have that, but we also have those black borders on top of the already thick metal frame. That, I feel like it takes a little bit too much real estate away from the front-facing screen. But we also have some images of the phone in the wild. This was at NCC when it's going through inspection. And here we can see the phone completely open, flat. We have both sides. We can get a better look at what the screen is going to look like. In this, with the screen off and all black, it doesn't look like the bezels are that big. But as we saw on the other image, we can see that we're going to have those black borders around the actual screen, making it thicker than it otherwise will be. Here, of course, is the black color. The other image that I showed you was the porcelain color. And here we can get a better idea of what the phone might look like in real life. And then we also here we have where it looks like, I'm assuming, the NFC charging area here, where you see like a little bit of a design at the bottom on the left hand side of the image. Here in this image we can get a better look at what the phone looks like when it's open, face on its back, and when it's open on facing down on its front. Now in this image, something that caught my attention that I thought was kind of weird was that if you see there in the corner, in the upper right hand corner of the screen wide open, there is a selfie camera sitting right there. But when we saw the render of the screen sent by Google, we saw that there was no selfie camera. So I'm wondering if this camera is going to hide itself when the screen is on, and then it's going to appear when you're ready to use the camera. Only a few weeks to find out. And here we have a better look at what the phone looks like when it's closed. We have the back of it and the front of it. And again, as you can see, that chunky bezel on the left-hand side that looks a little weird to me. I don't know. There's something off about it that I don't really like. I know what it is. You know what it is? It kind of looks to me like if you grabbed a Pixel, like the back of the Pixel 9 Pro and then the front of the Pixel 9 Pro, and then you grab, you know, like a hinge, and then you just like glued it to the side and like put it there, and then you got the other hinge and glued it there instead of being a whole design for the foldable device. But that's kind of what it looks like to me. If you look at these images, it looks kind of odd. And now finally we have a different view from the phone, for the phones, kind of like from the side, top side, I don't know how you will call that angle. But yeah, it looks interesting, looks weird. Now there are some other changes with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, which is what is going to be called. We have the dimensions. The dimensions of the phone has changed. The phone is going to be a little taller and a little thinner. The dimensions are going to be 155.2 by 77.1 by 10.54 millimeters, which means that the bezels also are going to be thinner inside, so when the phone is completely open, and around the front screen. Even though those bezels look chunky, technically those bezels are going to be thinner. Now, of course, we don't have 100% specs, but there are rumors of the specs that we can expect to see on this phone. One of those rumors is that the camera isn't going to be as good as the one that's going to come with the Pixel 9 Pro and the Pixel 9 Pro XL. Now, if you haven't seen my other videos on these devices, I will link them in the description section so you can take a look at the specs for those, because for those, we have all the information that we need. And what we know about the Pixel 9 Pro and the Pixel 9 Pro XL is that they're going to be the exact same phone internally. The only difference is that Pixel 9 Pro XL is going to be bigger than the Pixel 9 Pro and than the Pixel 9. So the Pixel 9 Pro XL is going to be the taller of the phones. And other than that, the Pixel 9 Pro and the Pixel 9 Pro XL are going to be exactly the same specs-wise. Now, the other thing that we know about the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, it's kind of hard to remember which one we're talking about, is what the RAM is going to be. There are some rumors that the RAM is going to be 16 gigs. It's not confirmed. Also, it's rumored to come with the newest Tensor chip. So it most likely will be the Tensor G4 chipset that is going to come on this device, even though the original Fold shipped with the older Tensor G2. So it might skip the Tensor G3 and go into the Tensor G4. That will be the smart play, I think. But then again, we don't know how they're marketing or what it is that they're looking to do with this full lineup. Now, on the camera department, it looks like we're going to have a downgrade when it comes to the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. And the reason is because looking at these comparisons of what the cameras that we know are going to be on the Pixel 9 and the Pixel 9 Pro and the Pixel 9 Pro XL, we're going to get a very different version of camera. So here, if we look at the wide camera, we're going to have the Sony IMX787 64 megapixels, and that's compared to the wide Samsung GNK 15 megapixel. Now, for the ultra wide camera, we're going to have the Samsung 3LU 12 megapixel, and that's compared to the ultra wide Sony IMX858 50 megapixel. And finally, for the telephoto camera, again, we're going to have that Samsung 3J1 10.5 megapixels. That is compared to the telephoto Sony IMX858 50 megapixels. And when it comes to the front facing camera, we're going to have the Samsung 3K1 10 megapixel compared to the Sony IMX858 50 megapixel autofocus. So as you can see there is a downgrade with the cameras compared to the Pixel 9 Pro and the Pixel 9 Pro XL. The other thing that we know is that it's going to start at 256 gigs of storage, just like the other devices. Now, battery-wise, we might get a 4600 milliamp hour battery, and the charging speeds might be between 21 and 22 watts. Now, I don't really know what Google is doing with the Pixel Pro Fold, because this year, technically, we're going to get the reveal of 4 different phones, right? We're going to get the Pixel 9, Pixel 9 Pro, Pixel 9 Pro XL, and the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Now, the Pixel 9 Pro and the Pixel 9 Pro XL are exactly the same device except for the size. So, and then we have the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, which seems to fold in between what the Pixel 9 and the Pixel 9 Pro will give you. And that is weird because usually the Fold phone that we've seen from other companies, the Fold phone is usually the top of the line phone that costs the most and has the most specs and all this stuff. But it looks like Google is taking a different approach, which is weird and interesting. I guess it gives them the ability to make a device with lesser specs or cheaper to make, and they can charge more money because it's a fold device, and so they can make more money out of the phone instead of putting so much tech into it. Is what I'm assuming that is the route they're taking. But it's going to be interesting because this is going to be the first year where Google is going to actually announce 4 phones in one event. Usually we only get 2. We get the Pixel whatever. So let's go to last year. We have the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8 Pro, and same thing for the year before and the year before that, which was Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro. Later in the year, they will come out with the A versions of those devices. So you will get the Pixel 6a, Pixel 7a, and the Pixel 8a. And of course, last year they announced the Fold, which also came out later in the year. But this year, like I said, it looks like we're going to get all 4 all at once to kind of be like, here's 4 phones, which, as I said before, is a weird tactic from Google, because Google used to have 3 phones at once that they will come out with all the time. The reason why they went to 2, starting with the Pixel 6, is because it felt that Google was cannibalizing its own sales and creating confusion in the market for people when they launched so many devices. And when they went down to 2, it made it so simple for people to purchase their phones, right? You had top of the line and middle of the road phone per se. And you knew like which one was the best and which one wasn't the best. I think that announcing 4 phones at once, 2 of them looking exactly the same with exact same specs except one larger than the other, it is going to probably create a little bit of confusion in the market. So we'll see how this goes sales-wise for Google after they announce it, if it affects the market in a negative way. I feel like Google is doing very well with the Pixel line, and all of a sudden they're like, let's just give them more, and like, yeah, all at once for everybody. Nah. I guess we'll see how that goes. So the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, now we know what it's going to look like. It's not going to be the greatest and best of the lineup. It's going to be, I will say, one step down from the Pro. So it's kind of weird that they have the Pro name within it when it doesn't match the older Pro phones, the Pro and the Pro XL. Exactly what I'm talking about. Confusion in the market, right? Tell me, what do you think about this announcement? What do you think about the new look of the Pixel 9 Pro Fold? What do you think about the new look of the Pixel 9 phones in general? Let me know in the comment section. That is it for me. Go ahead and subscribe, give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. Thank you very much for watching.